Okay, it's recording.
All right, so
Good. Yeah.
Big blind only.
There's 29 seconds.
Hello, everyone.
We got Bobby joining us right now. Hopefully, lightning will not
itself?
strike and take out both Trevor and myself.
We can just start playing.
He runs too good. He hit by lightning.
Bobby, what do you think of that last hand?
It was amazing. I mean, he played it really well. I understand his thought process. You know, he was
It's a big blind only.
trying to get there, and he got there. You know.
Let's take that again. Tell us how you really feel about that hand.
I think it was
for the viewers, break it down for us.
as far as like the whole hand.
Yeah, why you flag call? Or actually, let's wait till his hand's over. We get some
we got some
possible
stuff
action
going on here. We'll talk about that in a second.
Got pocket fives for Paul, ace king for Bruce. Greg's got nines. I anticipate at least one person to go all in.
And then Chris has his favorite hand. Surprised he folded.
Wow. Do I even look?
A little animosity.
Okay, there's no animosity.
There's some history there.
Poker. We might see a little fireworks here. Well, we did see fireworks actually.
I believe action's on Paul.
It is. He has 1,200 out there.
One thing about Paul, he will hang on. He will hang on to one chip.
What's he even thinking about?
I mean, here were fives with his stack. I'm just getting it in. I mean, I don't think you can really wait around any longer. I mean, you're not anticipating six-handed somebody else having a pocket pair and ace-king, but definitely you can't. He's doing the math, though. He's calculating the combos.
And he folds.
And he mucks. I mean, I wouldn't lay it down, but I mean,
Bruce
he's
shows
lucky
ace
on it.
king.
Look, it's.
Paul just threw his shoulder out, pat himself on the back.
But you know the flop's gonna come and bring that good old five just to.
Turn.
All right.
Turn.
Is there anybody? Is this did Bruce call?
Here it is.
Nines hold.
Nine's right.
Yeah, I think Bruce did call with the ace king.
Okay, then now it looks like
No,
Bruce
there's
is
five.
calling.
So they're counting it down to see if Greg indeed had more chips.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep, Greg had Bruce covered.
Yep. All right.
Now Greg's sitting high in the hog.
So I'm small. What did I say? Was it 600?
I think if it's between Greg and Chris, we'll have the most epic heads-up battle we've ever seen.
Those are yours.
Let's hope so.
I would love it.
It might last 6 hands.
You have one.
Oh,
Move.
Because they didn't use neither one.
No,
Unfortunately for Chris, I don't think he's going to get much action.
sucks. No, I mean, that's not bad yet.
Chris announces a raise.
At least it didn't happen like mine happened.
3,100.
I probably could have, but with two players.
I anticipate folds around.
Simple raise and take it if Paul pays attention fast enough.
7 high. Think not.
Chris takes it down.
Yeah, I mean, with Greg and Chris's position, I feel like, they can really just put the pressure on.
Well, they almost have to. I mean,
What's the bubble? Is it the bubble now, or?
It pays to 3 places.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely.
phase 3, so.
There's 5 left.
Pays 3, 2 are getting the seats. I mean, it's.
I mean, this might as well be a WSOP seat.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Chris is first to act.
I would definitely if it folds to Paul, he should definitely be shoving here. He can't wait any longer. 7-8 clubs. The 7 and the 8 of puppy dog feet.
Puppy dog feet crawl into the mug. Sit, boo-boo, sit.
I'd like to shout out Rick Blaze. I know you're watching. Thanks for your concern when I get sucked out on.
Greg gets walk. As expected in most spots in that scenario. We'll see the two women get heads up. What do you say, guys? I mean, Midge has been catching some cards, so it's not completely out of
Midge is a lot more aggressive than what Renee is.
Well, she's the one to help with the homework, so she might sit around as long as she possibly can.
All right, now definitely if it's folded to Paul, for sure should be shoving his hand. There we go.
27.
27.
27 and in.
27 all in for Paul.
And the big blind would be what?
I mean,
Folds over to Chris.
in Chris's spot, I think he can call
The blinds now are what, Tony?
612.
Did I not get it?
There's 612, and
It's 1,500 more to call.
yeah, I mean, he almost has to call. I
Yeah.
mean, his hand is almost irrelevant. There's no thought process here. You got huge
But
stack, and
you gotta try to knock players out.
Chris
Yeah.
calls.
And Paul's gonna be ecstatic until a 5.
expect to blow up. If this
Yeah.
happens, everybody, get your blow up cam ready. We can't see it. There we go.
Paul's making that face like he's expecting it.
Almost.
And he holds up, it looks like, because he did not flip the table over.
This is Paul's game though. He sits, waits,
Waiting around,
and just doubles up.
I mean, for him, stealing the blinds, it's amazing.
But he's going to have 2,700 chips, so he's sat around too long.
that's Paul, when you rewatch this, please take Steve's advice and don't sit around too long.
Action on Moskowitz first.
I bet he checks.
Moskowitz all in.
There we go. Expect nothing less of him. Now Chris could call again. I mean, what's midget stack looking? No
Mitch
match.
folds.
Fold around.
Kind of expect that when you see Paul go in that quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of red flags to all the players at the table that they probably should fold jacks or worse.
Queens are worse.
Queens are worse. Yeah, I agree. Queens are worse.
It did not reset, Tony. Still showing the cards from the last hand.
Got it.
There we go. That's good.
Uh-oh.
I'm on.
Well,
Renee's all in for 2 6s.
It's
looks like we'll see
55.
You gotta,
call.
think, you gotta think that Chris will call, and Paul's gonna hem and haw, and eventually fold.
When Chris calls, Paul will fold.
I
What
think
is
if
it,
I'm in Chris's
66?
spot, I may raise just to make
Renee
sure
all in
that
6,600.
I'll call.
Chris Becker calls.
Paul's looking at his ace-10.
Put the golf ball back on. Put it back on. Think about it, and fold. There's the golf ball.
You called.
Now he's breaking down the action. Paul, that's what we're here for.
This is hard.
Paul's sporting the
I'll
There
fold.
it goes.
more of the motorcycle glasses instead of his normal cover girl.
Easy breezy, beautiful. Golf ball, Paul. Not a bad start for Chris. So ace, queen, or 10.
Yes.
3 of hearts.
I am very shocked he didn't get there.
You know, there was some conversation here about you sometimes and the extraction of the proverbial horseshoe.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
It does.
Action on Greg first.
I don't think I go to that extreme,
I'm 12.
but yes, I do get lucky.
Horseshoe
A lot.
mixed with skill.
Yeah,
Deadly combination.
It is a deadly combination. I just like putting people in the cage, man.
Lower it down from the ceiling.
Just lower
Call
down.
1,200 by
battle.
Chris Becker.
I prefer not to think. I like to let other people do the thinking.
Moskowitz calls 1,200. Renee checks her option.
So what just happened? Everybody just fall?
Three-way.
Chris, Renee, and Paul in the
Is
hand.
that what happened?
Everyone limped. Looked like it.
All right, that's
I
interesting.
don't really understand why Paul would
Paul all in.
Yeah, Paul should be
just
just
call, and then now he's putting himself in a cage. Like if someone has a jack and snaps him off, then he's gonna feel like an idiot. But
Yeah.
if he shoves pre-flop, he might get a lot of jacks to fold.
I mean, with his stack, it's almost any ace, especially on the button, he should be shoving. There should
Absolutely.
be no reason limping in there.
Plus, it's so fun to say,
I'm
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I play all my chips, dealer.
Well, and the problem too is if you limp, you get flops like that, and then you don't know if somebody else limped Jack 10 or any kind of crazy hands. Somebody like suited, maybe they Jack 7 suited or something. So
Wow, all the aces, I think.
yeah.
Action on mid.
Midge raises, I can see Paul going away, but if she flats, this would be a great spot for him to go all in.
definitely.
Ace four spade is awfully pretty short-handed, but she says, no
Midge
thanks.
folds.
I'm waiting for my king queen again.
I'm on.
And there we go.
Moskowitz all in.
Wow.
Right move.
Melton folds.
I think I was gonna.
Paul takes it down.
Paul's slowly chipping up now, so.
But I pushed all in, would you have called?
The age-old question, would you have called had I went all in?
What do you expect him to say?
I know.
What's the official
I
answer?
thought maybe he
I
was
wouldn't have
wrong.
I believe it's usually
I thought
no.
maybe he was
Um,
wrong. Just possible.
Midge stack first.
I think if Midge goes all in, I think the answer is I fold. I always fold.
I'm sure you did.
But then,
Here we go.
But then
Midge
again,
is
beauty's
probably
in the
gonna
eye of the
shove.
beholder.
There you go.
Well, I'm sorry.
Whose hand?
No,
did
I,
we-
with my chip stack, I have to.
I'm all in.
Midge all in.
See what Greg has.
Let's see Greg's hand.
Didn't show up
I
yet.
had those other two cards.
Eights.
Mine
It's
are
a
That's
danger
distraction
going all
here.
in with eights.
I think Greg will fold though, because
Yeah, I think though.
Midge's style is just
Yeah, she has a tighter image, and also, I mean, they're short-handed. It is the bubble.
but
A lot
Greg
going on.
does have some chips.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
And Greg knows what's at stake. You know, he knows, the game plan at this stage of the game.
Looks like he's counting it up. See if he can.
See what he had left.
I mean, he has a huge stack of yellows. I mean, I definitely.
Greg folds.
I don't know.
Yeah, me too. What'd you fold?
And then Chris shows 3-5 and said, if there was any less, I would have called.
Oh, wait, she
At least
didn't.
that's what I think he's thinking.
You got it.
Yeah,
Now, in that
these
particular
go to
hand,
Chris.
Mitch with pair of eights with people act behind it. Don't you think pushing all in was a little risky?
What was her stack?
Big.
It was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if she has a huge stack, I prefer just min raising. But I mean, with the whole dynamic of the table, it's four-handed and it's the bubble.
Five-handed.
Oh, it's five-handed. I'm sorry.
Even more reason to
Even more reason to
to just
put
min
pressure.
raise.
I mean, min raise with that big a stack, you can get away from it if Greg decides to like re-raise or something like that. And
She just needs to know what her image is to everybody else.
Renee announces raise.
If she knows that everyone thinks she's the tightest one at the table,
36.
she can get away with a lot of min raises
Raise
because
to
people aren't going to play
3,600.
back at her.
right, they're gonna fold. I'd expect them to call with king queen there, so it would be some flop magic. See what happens.
Bet all the ladies.
3,600 is the bet.
What is Renee's stack?
Renee, about how much do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
About 9,000 behind. Midge folds.
Yeah.
Would you defend with king nine suited?
No.
Yeah.
For 3,600?
You can't call then just fold. You're
Yeah,
just-
it's 3x.
You're
and-
giving away way too much money for just
Yeah, I mean,
basically it's gambling.
the blinds are pretty huge too compared to stack sizes, at least for a few of them.
I wouldn't have minded a shove.
Yeah, a shove would have been nasty.
Might have a little action here between Chris and Greg.
Greg raises to 4,200. Chris folds. Midge
Chris-
folds.
Chris should almost always just be jamming over his face
Oh yeah, definitely.
because Greg can only call with two hands.
Say that again?
When Greg raises into Chris like that, Chris is the only one that can hurt him. So if Chris goes all in, Greg can only call with aces, kings, possibly ace king, which those are
Such
not.
a small percentage of hands he has. when he-
That's not likely his holdings. So Chris can take those raises and the blinds so easily in that situation.
Yeah, I mean you're the only threat to the big stack. I mean you gotta use those chips as your weapons.
And that's what they are. They
Chris
are
announces
your
a
weapons at
raise.
the table. This
Chris
is
announces a raise with 3-7, followed by 10.
3,200 total.
Yeah, this is I don't understand what Chris is doing here.
Midge, did you say call or
I am
You
all
said
in.
all in, put 3,200
Midge
out.
says all
I
in.
mean she's gonna go all in for sure.
but now the question is,
What does
Renee?
Renee do? Yeah.
Renee's stomach's doing flip-flops right now. She's trying to figure out what she should be doing.
Yeah, because Chris made the initial raise.
Well, she's been paying attention to the way people have been playing. She
Renee
knows
folds.
Chris is kind of on the looser side, but it'd be midge I'd be scared of. And she's not shifting over usually light.
I mean,
She's never doing that.
It's fine to be aggressive and make these raises, but I would prefer if it's on the button.
Right. Yeah,
Always guaranteeing yourself.
Well, because he has so many people to act at for him. I mean, if somebody calls or re-raises, I mean, he's just
Chris
giving away
looking
chips.
here doing the audition for the Oscar or Emmy nomination for.
He's
9100
posturing. He's
for
like, I
Chris
don't
to
want
call.
anybody to know I raised with 3-7.
He's doing his best Bobby De Niro right now.
Chris folds.
You got it this time.
You guys like that one?
I would have done it if she wouldn't have, I'll tell you that.
Renee's saying she would have done it.
Oh,
She's not scared.
man, you can see the tape and believe me. I should have called.
Small, big. How about you back to laughing their asses off?
We
Bet
don't
they're
laugh.
laughing at me like what
Very
else are
serious
doing.
back here.
I laugh. I can't help myself.
They're being very serious. First act is Chris.
Greg's on the button. Greg bets he takes it down.
Walkie-talkie.
Greg got a walk
Yeah,
there.
have to
I
bet.
can use it.
That's fine.
Walkie-talkie.
Chips are flowing.
To the left, as they do.
Because you're all in. How can you get one if you're all in?
Are you the dealer? I'm the dealer, right? Yeah. Oh my God.
First act is Midge.
Nobody helping out Midge.
I never know what she does.
Alright.
Now, Steve, just take this back to before, when you're short-handed, people aren't getting premier hands very often, so whoever's the most aggressive generally will start chipping up and be more of a force in the final rounds.
Yeah, even though like Chris has King Jack here with Jack 7 on the button,
Greg announces a raise.
probably gonna raise.
3600. Becker calls.
We're still at 6-12, right?
Yes. 56 seconds left in the
So
blind.
full 3x from the small blind. Beautiful flop for Greg to see bet.
Greg bets 4,000.
Well, we got Chris in the cage.
He's completely caged up, looking for the key.
Some hands, there's just no end to the cage. I mean, you're just in it.
You just, I mean, you don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
It just happens.
You can't escape it.
Hopefully it has windows.
Yeah.
Chris folds.
There was walls all around him with no door.
It's like Steve's mime cage earlier. Just couldn't find his way out.
My mind cage?
Your mime
Oh,
earlier in the broadcast.
yes.
Alright, it sounds like blinds are up.
Yep. Blinds are still
Assuming it's
6-12 this
8-16.
hand. Yes, 8-16 next hand.
I raise.
Renee's getting after it with the old Jack 10 suited.
Definitely.
Renee raises to 4,200.
Paul just wants to put his hands on chips because he doesn't get to touch a lot of them in the middle.
Greg holds threes.
But if you pick up on Renee's posture right now, she's covering her mouth, showing that she's not super strong about her hand.
Trying to hide.
When you start covering up body parts like that, it's a telltale sign that says they're not super excited.
Huh?
Chris is
They didn't muck?
No.
Here, may I borrow this for a second?
I know.
Need duct tape. Keep things.
How can you tell?
Down in the valley.
It's
There we go.
I can't.
What are we, 16? 8-16?
Oh,
8-16.
good times here. I should have got out earlier.
I thought I was going to have to go walk away. Midge is in the small blind with pocket threes. Last hand, Greg had threes and folded. Let's see what Midge does.
This is a spot where Chris should raise.
Chris should definitely be raising. This, I mean, if he's raising 3-7 on the gun, King 3 suited from the button is definitely raising his range. No, he decides to go for the muck.
Definitely zagging when he should be zigging.
Oh, was that she open fold?
I think so.
Oh, is that a walk?
Is that right?
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say.
You just
Paul
go
gets
ahead.
one.
I don't agree with that. I mean, you can at least call.
That was,
I mean, complete and
Because how often is Paul raising?
yeah. I mean, Paul's never raising. If he raises, you just get out of there with only putting in a half a blind.
I think Midge has enough chips right now that she could definitely get away with that without hurting her too much.
Oh, definitely. Or even take the other route and raise. But I mean, I know Paul's a little bit shorter, so she may not want to do that. Commit herself to that, but
And she folds the ace on the button.
Wow.
that's this
Folds over
that's
to
a little
Paul?
too tight,
Oh, I got too much.
especially short-handed. I mean, ace goes so much up in value so much.
Paul was a 2-3. Push, Paul, push.
Did Renee raise this?
Did you go limp raise?
Or no?
Renee's
They
in the
fold
big
around to
blind.
the
Paul's in the
button, and now
Paul's
Paul's
in
Paul's
the
acting? Okay.
Let's see what he does.
I mean, you gotta make a call here, right?
Paul folds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of completing small blind.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have so many opportunities to do other things. I mean,
And if she raises, then you go ahead and fold.
right. Well, and if the flop comes, I mean, you can always just put out the minimum bet on the flop. And
So that's where Bob and I differ. I'd rather take the lead and always be raising a small blind against a player like that, especially five-handed, especially with so much at stake.
well, I mean, against her though, she's only betting when she has it.
Yeah, just
Or calling. So I mean, you may lose chips, but I feel like you're gonna win more in the long run by just limping and then throwing out a bet on the flop.
in most instances, yes. This
She's
one I
gonna-
disagree.
Agree to disagree, sir.
That sounds fine.
Greg gets a walk.
That's why you were in the broadcast booth earlier.
Can we?
I'm getting fancy hands with small blind.
Burn.
Dagger.
Burns in the broadcast.
Dagger.
Burns. I'm just kidding, man. We
5-5.
I might get the Queen of Hearts tattooed on me just so you never forget.
never forget.
Next time Greg gets a walk, I think we should force him to dance.
All right, let's see what Chris does. I mean, he's in the big
The
blind.
question is, let's see what Paul does before Chris acts.
Paul with the ace rag. I'm assuming he might just fold. You know,
Wow.
tightness.
Sometimes I just wish I could be that nitty.
Me too. This is gonna be a little fun.
Please be fun.
Greg
Is that a raise or
completes.
call?
That's fine. I think Queen Jack is fine, especially with the two deep stacks.
What was that call?
He's
He
completed.
just completed. Okay.
Chris announces a raise.
How much do you raise, do you think?
It's
24 on top.
I mean, you should make it like 4,000.
Yeah.
Nothing too
Not a very
big. I
big
mean,
raise.
some-
That's just double the blind, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Greg
because
call.
you have a value hand, you want him to call. You want to try to get as much out of that big stack. Because if he doesn't hit, he's folding, and I mean,
I don't think I like Greg's call here.
no,
Just not with the dynamics of
there's
the
not much you're gonna be able to do. I mean, it's
Yeah, I can help you.
One more time, Chris.
yeah. I mean, he could check again. There's not many hands you can get value from by betting. Maybe to make Greg take a stab on the river. I mean, there's not even much going on. You expect with Greg's stack. I mean,
Chris
he would
announced all in
bet
and
any
Greg
kind of
folded.
draw.
interesting turn bet of all in.
Yeah. I don't know what he was expecting to happen there.
All you're getting called by is a hand of
And
two.
I hit you, yeah, aces or king. And that would have been a sick way to play it if you were Greg.
Set of nines.
Just. Alright, Renee should be.
Renee says, "You can have all of my chips or that."
I wager all my chips.
She calls.
Renee calls.
Oh, this is bad. You can't. I mean, how are
Chris
you going to
calls.
win chips? You're calling, and then you're giving that big blind an opportunity to hit a pair, and you're just. Or
No.
You flop the
Hey,
nut flush.
what do we know?
What do we know?
She knows what's
checks
gonna
your
happen.
options.
She knew. So
That's exactly the way I would have
I
played
was
it.
talking
Renee,
about it last.
good
Wait,
play.
he had-
yeah,
Oh,
she might get a bet
no,
out
it's
of
on
Chris.
Chris.
or
He was
out
talking
of
about it
Chris
differently.
actually
Yeah.
also.
Okay.
Just because
I was
everybody
waiting till
limped
they
and
were
there's a
done
pair, you
tossing.
might just throw a bet out.
And I wouldn't mind Chris's leading here.
No, I mean no, there's nothing wrong with that. I think she should definitely be calling.
Chris bets 2,200.
22.
Midge folds.
I'll call.
Renee calls.
There you go.
Just take your time a little bit.
Yeah, don't just snap. I mean, oh, he has 4-9. I thought he had 3-5.
No, yeah, Midge had the 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean either way, that's still a nice lead. I don't. You have the big stack. You're putting pressure.
33.
I'm all in.
When she snaps,
Chris
though, you
bets
kinda wanna
3,300. Renee goes all
Maybe
in.
slow down. I know.
Well, why wouldn't she just call his
5,
raise
6,
and then push
75.
at the end? Or
Did she?
79.
She just pushed here.
79 total.
she
Yeah,
pushed on the
I don't like
turn.
that.
How much more does she have over
So-
Chris's
so,
bet?
she does, well,
What?
1, 2, 3, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75.
I don't like that because I mean you're pushing out all his bluffs. He's
Yeah.
never calling unless he has a flush
Chris has about
or
8,000.
maybe a set. I mean, but those are the hands you don't want to fold. You don't want to push them out. I mean, you have the nuts. There's nothing that can beat you
Yeah, and Chris has what, 9 high?
unless he has like 4 or 5 of hearts and he's drawing to the straight flush. But
Yeah.
that's the only scenario.
Do
Chris
not show
folds.
You
your
call
cards.
everybody else.
Please.
Do not show.
She
Looks
did.
like she did.
Sounds like
Did she
Because
show
he was like,
cards?
I'm pretty
I
sure
almost
she should.
checked that one more time.
Seemed like it. Or she.
sounded like she showed.
I mean, because Chris did that. Yep, you got it. Against my 4-9.
Check, you would have called.
You had me.
That hurt.
Hit you, Joe Montana, the 49er.
Twice.
You had me.
Out of once out of position.
Renee
Man, what
dashes.
could my hand have held up?
I don't understand her
crushed
pushing
it.
on the turn. On the nut flush. But
I mean, maybe with his lead, she thought that he had something that he could potentially call with, but I don't agree with it either. I mean, you want, especially with a player like Chris who's just firing. I mean, you want to give him a chance to just continue to. You don't want to.
Especially on a scary board like that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he's repping what you have almost. And
Chris
you-
all in.
Absolutely doing that.
Telling him.
Approximately 8,000.
well, of course,
78 total.
Fine shove, no problem there.
yeah, he only had Paul behind him and Renee, so it wouldn't have crippled him if he would have lost. Anyhow.
Well, I think
But look at Renee's stack. She's starting
I
to
think
build
Chris
some
is down to
chips.
8,000. I don't think he has too much left.
Yeah, well,
Greg Dak
that's
first.
that's one of the issues sometimes with people. They get huge stacks and then decide to start kind of going bonkers and doing the opposite of what they should be.
Correct.
I mean, his lead outs, his raise with 3-7. I mean, all these things he doesn't need to be doing. I mean, there's so many shorter stacks that have the potential to go out.
Renee looks very stoic. What's she gonna look?
Folds,
Let's see
folds
what
over to
does
Paul.
here. See, this is another situation. I like limping the small blind. I don't know.
I do too.
Look how intently Renee was looking at Paul. She's like, please
Like I have
please
it.
raise,
Please.
please raise.
Well, you know she's
Paul
gonna raise.
calls.
I don't see
All in.
a check in her game.
Renee
Mm.
announces all in. Paul folds.
Which, I mean, it's fine.
I don't hate that shove.
Yeah, I mean, so some people that could also look weak too, like, oh, you limped and I shoved.
I think in a deeper chip stack tournament that could have been a lot more of an interesting play.
Right.
But everyone's so shallow. I think it's still
Yeah, I
fine.
mean,
You're
there's
still just winning.
No, this is gonna be good. Nines versus jacks.
Now, hopefully, Midge doesn't go crazy and just phone raises.
Chris folds.
I'm telling you, it's
Midge
the battle
will
of the
push.
women.
Midge
we'll
announces
get
all
Grace
in.
first, right? I can't tell what's. Oh, Grace in the big blind. Yeah, that's.
My lance hand
I called.
Greg calls.
And this is a spot where Grace should
You're
think
okay.
twice about it.
Yeah. I mean, Midge isn't shoving light.
Tax
Yeah, he
versus
calls. No thought
nines.
process there. Just got it. Got a pair. I'm calling. And that's just one of those things. If you really think about it, I mean, what is Midge doing that with? She's not just
No
gonna
hearts.
jam all her chips in.
Heart.
Put a heart out there.
Put a heart out there.
Most.
What do you got?
He can afford it though. I mean, out of all the players there at the table.
But I don't think she's super short anymore.
No, I don't think she was that short either. I would love to know.
Who,
her
Midge?
stat.
Yeah.
No, I think she had a pretty good
About
stat.
14,000.
Oh Lord.
Well,
Yeah, that's right.
well,
I said it.
Bringing God into it.
I think he comes to the poker table more often than people think. He floats down those Queen of Hearts in the river.
Oh my God. That hand.
You're going to be thinking about that for a while, aren't you?
No, I mean, there's not much to think about. It's more of just, wow. I'm just kind of amazed. It's going to be one for the forums.
Wow.
Greg might get some money back here, depending how it's played out.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious what Paul's stack is.
I'm guess like 6 or 7 grand.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Yep. You're
I think
right
he
there.
should be shoving there too. Even.
I raise.
Greg announces a
I
raise.
did your shuffling for you.
Thank you.
You got Shondelled.
Shondell still is here in our hearts.
Keep selling those houses, buddy.
If you're out there watching this,
You'll learn a thing or two.
Didn't realize that Chris lost that much of his chips.
yeah, I mean, he kind of has been giving them away a little bit. I mean, it's one thing, I get putting pressure on, but there's times and positions to do it. You definitely want to play the later position really strong, especially against, like, you have the likes of Paul in the big blind. I mean, you should be raising every button against him. But he chose to do under the gun, stuff like that.
You know,
Paul Dax
It's not bad to throw it in here or there, but I mean, with the blind so high and the stack so shallow, it's really not worth doing that.
Criminy.
if it folds to the small blind, Chris should be shoving all day.
For sure. Yeah, if he has 8,000, definitely.
Action
I mean,
on
if he has-
Chris.
Even 12 big blinds.
Raise.
Announces a raise.
All my chips dealer. Do it.
Yes, I play all my chips. I play all my chips. I'm all in. He's just figuring out the math.
How much?
41.
Was that just a
4,100
raise?
total.
I mean, it's gonna get the same
It's
job.
the same
done.
effect, but it gives her opportunity to call.
Why not just slam it in there?
Yeah, I mean, because you really don't want to play a flop out of position with this hand. You would just want to put the pressure on and take her blind.
Chris has about 4,500 behind.
Because, I mean, if the flop comes 7 high and you had a player like me in the big
Mitch
blind,
folds.
you're not winning.
No,
But
because you probably flop.
no, I mean, I mean, I'm using my position. I mean, if you're min raising and I flat and then you check for me on the flop, I mean, for sure winning. If you bet, who knows? I might have devious plans. Like earlier in the tournament when I raised the 1200.
Oh, don't remind me.
I did have the ace and the 8 offsuit.
Never went all in with ace-8.
Yeah?
Worked really, really not very well for me.
One
Against
pip. I
ace-9.
heard you were 1 pip.
I did the old 1 pipper against me. Pippi Longstockings.
Little pip.
Tell you what, I am awfully jealous that they're out there and I'm in here.
Yeah.
Paul gets a walk.
Well, the way my dreams got crushed, I am too. Could have been a contender.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had a good
I'm certainly glad to see both of you in here.
Yeah, because we would have been at that final game.
I think Paul Boston is going to be commentating.
No, you should be glad too. And you got Chris out there if he makes it.
Paul Boston, huh?
Paul Boston.
He might need a buddy.
Looking for volunteers. Vicky's going to deal it.
Oh,
Alright.
good.
I will more than likely be free
Ace of clubs.
to help out with the explanations of the ins and outs.
Excellent.
Of No Limit Texas Hold'em.
Of the
There's
minds
three
of
microphones back here.
I'll
the
be
minds
there.
of the greatest.
I'll be here announcing.
You what?
My big blinds have not been bad.
Yep.
Who's on the button, Paul?
Yeah. Oh, Paul, what are you doing?
Ace
No,
three.
man. That's
Greg gets a what?
Give him the business.
Ace isn't. No.
Steve's upset. He's looking for somewhere to grab a Kleenex or something. He's
I want to take a
back.
second to let all our viewers know that this broadcast is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheesy.
Now we're talking.
Here we go.
Says the man with the orange microphone.
Fireworks. Ladies against each other.
Cards down.
Boom.
Cards down. Heads up.
Okay, Midge is going to go first. Right, Renee's,
No, Renee's acting first. Or is it
Renee's
Midge?
the button.
Yeah, it should be Midge.
Oh, I thought Renee threw her voice.
And I really hope she just like min raises it, right?
That looked like a lot of chips.
She does seem to be raising.
35?
Much more. It's
It's
about 65.
65?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7,000.
The old 4Xer.
Here you want. You're in a hand.
No, 65.
The
Sorry.
old 4Xer. Did Renee just muck? No thought?
Discipline.
That is.
She-
I guess.
She folded. That's very disciplined. I mean,
You know.
I guess she has a plan.
she might have a read.
But she was ahead.
No, I know.
Oh, good. We were
Yeah.
close.
Blinds were posted. Next blinds are 1,000, 2,000.
No, I mean she's been watching Midge. I mean she's been playing pretty solid. It seems, pretty tight. So maybe she just didn't want to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, having a plan, she wants to make the money. She wants to get those
Yeah.
final two seats. It's very...
That's the thing too. It's that's what everybody should be doing, is trying to figure out what everybody else's plan is. I mean, there's some people that are just trying to make it into the money. There's some people that are going for first.
Chris
Should be
might
up.
be able to call here.
Tony,
He
you're
might
playing
have-
3 places tonight? Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 places are paid. 2 are going on
It's
to
3
the
places, so they're not even
final
on the
game.
bubble yet.
And Midge walks it out. Got stanky lag.
One and two.
Man, I love poker.
It's the best.
It is.
Constantly evolving.
If I didn't poker, I don't know what I'd do. Probably be like a farmer or something. I don't know.
Well, you got enough fertilizer. You got some fertilizer you could certainly sell.
With the looks of that hat, you might be a truck driver. So
Exactly, man.
looks of that mustache, you might be
A bum.
That looks like a football field. You got 11 on each side there. That's pretty good.
Trying. I have been growing this thing for about 3 months.
I'm
I'll
on.
get to what?
Yeah, right.
I actually did have it all in hand there.
Paul's.
Ace 7 with the all-in hand. There you go, Paul.
Paul's telling jokes.
Mind if I had a hand there? I mean, one person in the hand there.
Tony, wouldn't you think right now Midge is a big stack?
I do believe.
Telling you, it's gonna be the two women heads up.
It's a pretty good tie between Greg and her, though.
70.
About a month, 6 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to play in a card game at
Becker
Midge's house. She and her husband live not too far from me, and and there's several other people close to Midge's age, females, that are decent poker players, and they're going to, I think, become members for next season. And you wouldn't, a lot of times people look at us old geezers and don't think much, but these other ladies were pretty,
no, I sure
pretty
do.
solid poker players.
Up.
And thank you for no comments on the geezer.
The old wolf in sheep's clothing tactic.
I'm on.
Paul goes all in.
You know,
He must be.
3,000
He's on the button.
There you go, Paul. I
About
mean, that's all I can
5,500.
see. I mean,
This is about as lucky as Bobby gets. Throws the old Jack 9 in the middle. He's up against 9-3 and Queen 2.
38 more.
did you call him Bobby?
38 more
Yeah.
on top.
I'm saying he's
Oh.
like you.
Oh, okay.
Lucky.
Yeah, it is. I get lucky like that.
It's
on the
really fortunate
to get that
have that
without
spot.
people having hands. Renee's feeling frisky. She's like, I might just call with any two here, and
She's like, I might need to check on Rudy with that homework.
I don't know which. I mean,
I don't think so.
She's doing her best Paul impression.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. There's really no reason for it. It's just fold. I mean, you don't have anything. It's not like
I fold too.
It's not like she raised and got shoved on.
Yeah.
Right.
3-9 with what chips she had. There's no sense in trying to blow them away on a 3-9 hand.
I mean, he's shoving light, but there's 3-9 doesn't beat a lot, even if he's jamming with like any.
You think he is, but he is Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he had aces for sure.
Paul, I love you, bud, but you are just our little punching bag at times.
Midge stack first.
He puts himself in the cage a lot, man, and then isn't able to escape it. All
For
right,
viewers at home, Bob, you want to explain the cage?
the cage is something that happens to someone when they are put to a decision and have to think long and hard about it and don't know what the correct one is.
Essentially, they get stuck trying to flip a coin in their mind, saying, "Am I right or am I wrong?"
Greg calls.
And that's what the good players will try to do, is
Chris
put
checks
people in
his
the
option.
cage.
What a long time.
I know.
I carry a cage in my back pocket.
Both players check.
Well, this is a good flop for the old ace and 5.
Beautiful.
I don't understand the not betting the flop, though.
You gotta maximize
Yeah,
your
you gotta
opportunities.
get value. If he does have some sort of hand, you don't want.
Chris
I mean, if he's
bets
just trying to get to showdown with
2,800.
like pocket sevens or something, I mean, you want to at least put him to a little test.
Greg
And
calls.
this,
What? Are these cards right?
yeah, I don't.
I check.
I
Greg
mean, maybe
checks.
he's just, he knows that Chris is kind of desperate and has been.
So did we just get
Aggressive or-
outsmarted?
Six.
Was the flop check? I guess it worked.
Yeah, he got a little value.
Induced a call on the turn.
Is he?
What's the action?
He
Oh,
went
okay,
all
he's
in,
waiting for call, too.
and he's.
This is what we call the cage.
6,000 all in with Chris Becker.
Greg is like,
Well, Chris only has 6K left.
I only have king high, but I may be good here, and he might just be bluffing. And he's thinking about making the sickest call in history.
Missed straight draw, missed
Great
flush draw
calls.
possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it, but it's just nothing to mess around with. I
And a
mean,
pot like that's really going to boost Chris's confidence because he's feeling pretty low after the failed bluff against the nut flush.
right.
As you would,
Yeah.
It never feels good to look into the nuts.
Well,
I see you smiling, Steve.
Squirrels love their nuts.
Folds over to Becker.
all right. So let's see what Chris does here. I mean, I expect a shove. This is not one of those times I would limp. I mean,
Chris announces a raise.
Your hand's just too strong.
yeah, he still has a shorter stack. I mean, he doesn't want to.
He chipped up pretty nicely in that last hand, so. Midge says.
Run him.
Is he thinking about calling?
Chris did raise, correct?
Chris announced a raise.
We're still in the process.
38. Is that 38?
33.
3,300 raise.
Yep.
3,300 for Midge to call. Midge folds.
I was sick if she would have jammed.
That's like some stuff I do. But then I get called. He doesn't call me then. I'm like, shit.
Darn it. Not much chatter at the table.
No, everybody's in serious mode.
They might be always.
Paul just yawned a couple times, so
Well-
he's waiting for his aces or kings.
His Wine cooler is wearing off.
Ace Jack for Paul.
His Limerita.
What's mid you got? What's it?
The old king and 4.
They called it I forget what they called it.
Chris is going to.
I would imagine he's going to raise.
Oh,
He's
learned.
Get a walkie
man.
talkie?
Here's Paul. He's going to complain about it.
Too bad.
Oh, of course.
That's too bad.
Of course, I get a walk.
My good
He
cards.
thinks you guys are picking on his wine.
Of course, I finally get a hand. My big blind.
That's 2 in a row. Actually, you had an ace and the big blind got a walk.
Free advertising.
Those are not much.
I saw it, but I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I was
There we
looking.
go. It's good.
So I'm 1,000.
All right, now Chris with the ace and jack off.
And Paul has the king and jack off.
They both have a card and a jack off suit.
Terrible.
What we're saying here, folks, is that they're not suited.
Not suited. They're one big card and one smaller as a jack that is not suited.
Thank you for clarifying, geezer.
I'd also like to let our viewers know that this is a PG-13 showing.
Actually, I think Paul kicked it into a
Oh, yeah.
R rating.
Yeah, you get the TV MA.
Paul's considering here. Oh, a call. Paul's leaning back on his chair. He's going to pick up his golf ball. He's going to look at the cards again.
Yeah,
Paul
he
folds.
didn't do the whole spiel.
Renee folds.
He's so good at folding.
Dude, he's the best at folding.
He should probably ice his elbow after a poker session.
I almost want to just go out there and be his fold caddy and just fold everything.
Play his discards.
I'm sure he'd get a good contract on the free agency market.
Oh yeah.
He should start a training website called Run It Man.
Run it to even.
Oh, Renee picking up big. Let's see what she does. She is in the small blind.
Greg might defend.
Yeah, I would like to see just a min raise. I mean, no sense to get crazy. Well, it depends on her stack. I don't really know what her
Renee
stack
announces
is.
a raise.
If she has like 15 big blinds, I would definitely min raise. Well, you can shove too.
Greg announces all in and a call by Renee.
Live cards.
Was it all in?
Yeah, practically a flip.
Well, you're live.
All right,
What
here
do
we
you
go.
think? I've been
She opened
folding and
folding,
folding. You didn't believe me?
It didn't matter.
Yeah. Oh,
King.
well.
King
No
in the
heart
window.
either. I'm
The
screwed.
old bank.
Wait for the rebank.
The rebank on the river? Ace from space? Nope. I'm not gonna do it.
How much you got?
Those last cards aren't reading for some reason.
Gregory.
I counted up. I think he has her covered, right?
Be really close.
I think you got me.
She is not pleased to help with
Yeah,
homework.
I'm not pleased with that.
I've been playing good.
I mean, but that's just what happens. I mean,
What is it, 13-3?
You can't do anything with that one.
Greg has 15,300.
It's not a terrible play by Greg. It's just
Oh, you're beating him pre-flop. I mean, you got
well,
it.
I mean,
What happened
to be honest, I might play.
blinds?
I mean,
What?
They were the blind.
We were the blind.
Yeah, they-
but who am
break
I?
you back.
I'm sitting here and he's collecting chips.
15,300.
So Renee has about
Signature.
2,500 behind.
I shuffle for you again. Shondell.
Thank you.
another Shondell shout out.
Oh, I guess I didn't shuffle for you. So have
You
fun.
here, you want 'em?
That means Midge and Greg now are
All right, small
big
big.
stacks.
Yeah. So what is it? Renee's shortest and Paul's the second shortest.
Actually, I'm Midge first.
All right. Midge just open folds ace 5.
Chris will push with this probably.
Who's in the big blind?
He's
Let's see
probably
what
gonna
happens.
walk here.
He's gonna get a walk.
Chris does get a walk.
Trying to decide if I like that fold by Renee or not.
No, I
Oh,
was just thinking
she
that.
is tilted, tossing cards.
She's the opposite of the way I tilt. If I tilt, I'm very aggressive. She goes into less aggressive. Some people are like that.
Caterpillar.
Oh, she is. Yeah, she is mad.
Yes, she is.
That king did not please her.
First act is Paul
It's one of these
Moskowitz.
things, though. I mean, you have to expect stuff like that to happen in tournaments, and you have to just push through it. You have to let it go and just focus on the stack you have now and getting it back. I mean, the blinds are big, so you can
Come on.
win a few hands and be back up there.
Moskowitz all in.
with,
Let me know if you want to count.
with fours.
I don't, but somebody else.
All right, let's see what happens here. I mean, Midge has a huge stack.
Did Chris's cards register? Did he already fold?
I don't think
No,
Midge will
Chris.
call.
Chris.
I don't think she will
Chris,
either,
your
but I
cards
think
didn't
she's
read.
correct to call.
Hey, wait.
And he said call.
You
It
call.
looks like
Yeah,
it
he
has
called.
Oh, Chris calls.
Oh,
Oh,
7K.
goodness.
I can see why.
Oh,
Midge
Okay.
folds. Fours versus kings.
and that's
And
what
that's a
happens.
spot where if I'm Paul, I'm probably just folding.
Oh,
man.
Four in the window.
Oh, what do you know?
Good hand, good hand. See, it's not just you.
Case 4.
Case.
Renee folded a 4. She folded the 4-6 ball.
The case 4.
It's all day, right?
What do I know? But no, in all seriousness, that should be full because she has barely over a blind. If you were trying to make the money, you have to be folding in that spot, whether
Yeah.
you have pair or not.
Well, I mean, because imagine if she has you beat, or even you're racing and she wins. I mean, you're losing a big chunk of your stack, and now you're the tiniest stack, and you're not going to be able to do much from that.
Thank you.
It's just,
Aye,
I
aye,
mean, he lucked out. I mean,
Let's,
aye. It's not you.
let's make a note of this in case Paul says anything about being unlucky the rest of the match.
yes. Yes, definitely. Looks like Renee's still on tilt,
And
Oh.
tagged first.
but she's
She's gonna be-
she's going to be even more on
She's-
tilt.
she's-
She is all in.
And she's helmet
yeah.
style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, I got a toothache. My wisdom tooth on the left side are
Full turn
really
to
hurt.
Paul.
Not happy. Bam.
Oh, Greg
Great
did
call.
call.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
fair call.
Yep.
there we go.
versus 10.
She's not
Eights
happy to
versus
see that.
tens.
And,
There's my kings.
well,
Next.
nothing. Good game.
GG.
All right, there you go.
Well, I'd like to say good game to her. I don't think she's going to come back here.
And wait, you got that?
I think she's going to rush the door.
Yeah.
Someone tell her to please drive safe.
Someone should probably walk her out as well.
I'll do that.
I'm small.
Tony Bruce is coming out.
Okay.
Hopefully my car's still there.
Bruce is going to walk you out.
Oh, that's all right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
She's just hoping somebody will attack. She's going to do the
All right.
tongue thing
Yeah,
salad.
she-
Thanksgiving.
Paul just drops the needle of Happy Thanksgiving to the most tilted person
Oh
in
my
the room.
God.
You folded.
Such a needle.
I fold.
She's not thankful for poker.
All right, now is when the biggest stacks need to really start putting pressure, especially on Paul.
Happy
I-
Thanksgiving. he
In my
says.
old age, I got wiser.
Oh God. So while we're in between this hand, what kind of music do you think Paul's listening to right now?
Yanni.
I was gonna say Yanni.
Yeah,
Oh man, you guys are good.
Michael Bolton.
Oh, here's Paul. Let's see.
Just get frustrated.
She snap called you with
Is
a-
Paul's stack big enough to min raise now, or is that?
Maybe
Folded them all
barely.
in.
I think I prefer shoving. I mean, yeah, it's
Paul all in.
either way, he's not getting action. See, look, and here's Paul. Like he's so comfortable. He's showing, hey, I have a good hand. You know, it's like
Close that you almost
So-
called.
Yes.
And
No one
I
almost
didn't.
called. Don't let him fool you, Paul.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm ready for it.
I mean, that's something to think about, though. I mean, you see how comfortable he was when he did
Absolutely.
this. It's you got to keep that poker face on when you're
It's like when
playing in handle.
It's like when you get 3-bet by Ted. Sometimes you just gotta know when to fold jacks.
Definitely.
20 seconds left in the blinds.
And small, big.
All right. I really, really hope that Midge at least calls somebody's raise if they raise.
I think Midge is being very conservative right now. She knows that she's got a decent stack, and if she plays smart, she can get to the final two.
Oh, definitely.
Blinds are up.
Blinds
Next
are going to be
hand.
up to 1,000, 2,000?
No, 1,200, 2,400.
That'd be 1,000, 2,000?
No, 1224.
1224. Oh, okay, 1224. Alright.
Midgie gets the watch, looks like.
What'd you show?
Mace.
What's your shows? I got ace,
Just, I always got aces. Fold to me, yo.
Oh, wait. What'd you say?
24. 1224.
Paul needs a calculator.
Bring in the abacus.
Greg Dack first.
I always think this is Greg Merson because it's a Greg M.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
Paul gets a walk.
I'm all in.
Always easy to say that.
I know. It's fun. It's fun saying it without any worries.
2 hours later, he just stormed off. All right.
We got, ooh,
This
buddy.
will be fun.
Midges on the
Midges on the button. We got Paul in the small blind. He has ace deuce. Let's see what happens. He is fairly tight, so she just jams.
Really?
Midge all in.
So this is. I really think Paul's gonna fold. I mean,
I
I don't see him doing anything else.
Paul folds.
Reluctant.
Yeah, smart fold.
It is. I mean, no,
It's
I don't
fine.
mind the fold. It's what you got to do.
Greg
Especially,
folds.
I mean, now you're on the true bubble.
Reluctant.
Of all the times I've played against Midge, I don't think I've ever seen her bluff. So when she bets, she
Yeah, that's what I
has a
mean.
decent card,
Yeah.
has a hand.
Or at least what she perceives to be the best hand.
Right. In her mind, yeah, exactly. So, come on, Paul.
All right, definitely just a min raise here. I mean, he's got a bigger stack now. He doesn't need to be going crazy.
Ooh.
5, 6, 7, 74 back.
Let's see if Greg does the old all in with the king 10 again.
Just look at Paul's posture. I mean, he
1,
just
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
looks like he has it, man. What is he? Is he counting the stack up or something?
Come on.
I mean, this whole
Paul
act
is all
stuff
in.
he does is just silly.
Plus, it's another spot where you should always know pretty close to how much you have. Like, why are you counting it out when
Yeah.
the action's on you?
It's just it looks like an act, and I don't
All
like
players fold.
I mean, if he would just look at his hand and do a normal thing and just raise the button.
Yeah. I mean, that's why another reason you should try to keep your stacks in 20 stacks. That way you always have a quick count,
Yeah.
knowing where your stack is, and you can act accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I count my stacks so many times over and over.
Stacks of 20, I knock them over when they're 6 high. Just imagine if they were stacked 20 high.
Well, come on, Steve. We know you don't have stacks of 20 that often.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I have a bunch of little 6 stacks.
You guys are talking to the point leader for the season, though.
That is true. He also kept track of the points.
Yes, that's true. Just like with the banker in Monopoly.
That's right.
65.
It's like Paul might be taking our
65
advice.
raised by Greg.
Yeah, maybe he can hear us.
Takes
Maybe
that.
that's what's in his headset. He's streaming He's streaming it. He's streaming right now, and he's listening to everything we say.
I think it's Pussy Riot, actually.
I think that sweatshirt's large enough where he could hide a microphone.
I wish I could hear, because there's people laughing, and I'm the only one that can't hear anything. So
Nothing.
Tony,
You're not listening to anything?
No.
What was
Tony
it that you were
dropped the
listening to
hammer.
before?
such a sweet
When?
grab.
Just earlier, on your headphones.
Gay rap.
Captain and Tennille.
Captain and Tennille. The greatest hits album.
Oh, Moskowitz.
Moskowitz just ate a Laffy Taffy.
Paul's listening to Ice Baby.
Dum 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 dum.
Ice.
Well, I wouldn't be too. There was
That's
only
what we
like
need.
one
We
or
need
two.
some sound
that-
effects in
yeah.
here. We need to cue up something. Boink.
you
I mean, I need something for when people suck out. You know, I need.
no, I said that backwards.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I know what you meant. It's like,
But what he
no,
meant was
no.
the truth.
Hey, who's first to act?
All in, 62.
Chris all in 6,200.
Looks like it's gonna be Chris's first act.
Measurement fold.
Folds all around. Ooh, she's thinking about it.
She is.
I'm tired of your business.
What is Chris shoving with?
King Queen?
No, and the stack.
Offsuit.
The king and queen. Well, I'm just curious to know.
How much is it? How much is Chris in for, Tony? You and I-
6,200.
And we're at 24. Okay.
Correct.
Is she in the blinds?
No.
Okay.
What is it?
For 64.
64. The line of 24.
Yeah, 200.
Yeah, I
Make
mean,
sure.
I'd probably call with ace four to be honest.
Hmm.
Well, depends on her stack also.
Moskowitz folds. Greg folds.
I mean,
She
geez.
had two people behind her. It's a tricky spot.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, he's showing. You gotta get, you gotta tell him what you
gotta
have to
pay
say.
for
Is
it.
Chris
huh?
telling a lie? I had
Good hand. Good play.
king ten.
I had
I should
hair
have
once.
I thought you were going to.
I thought about it hard.
Kevin Euclid.
Small blind. Big blind. Under the
Or the guy in the Wizard of Oz, one of the little munchkins.
That's true.
Oh man. I am actually glad I don't have a headset.
I'm all in.
Moskowitz all in.
Paul chips it.
Big stack.
No raise for him. I mean, I feel like his stack's large enough to where he can raise now. He doesn't need to put all his chips. I mean, in the off chance that one of the big stacks do wake up with ace jack plus or something,
I think Captain and
I don't
Tennille
wanna
ask him to
commit
do it.
all that on the bubble.
You say Captain and
Tennille
Tennille, ask him to.
to go all in.
Okay.
The voices in his
Do it to
head.
me one more time.
He's not even
I don't
joking.
mind you listening to
about
it.
listening to
That was good, Greg.
Watched the movie
That was a good
Birdcage the other night, and the way he just sang that sounded like the gay cook, Spartacus.
He was a stand-in double.
Paul's going to push again.
Yes, I don't know. I think he should be min raising now. I mean,
He just doesn't. He has no plan.
Moskowitz all in.
He's so afraid of someone calling than having no clue to what to do on the flop. So
I mean,
it's
he
like
is chipping
he's,
up.
He's
There's
eliminates.
There's a lot of money in the blinds, but still, it's. I mean,
All players
if you
fold.
min raise, you give the opportunity for a worse hand to call you, that would never
I
call
think you
shove.
should do that every time.
Do you go take a look out there?
Do what?
All in.
Chip stacks. Whether this is correct or not.
I got the cards. I'm doing it.
I don't care if you have them or not. Somebody else is going to have to defend.
10 minutes left in the blinds. Blinds are 1,200, 2,400.
Well, no, it's not that.
He will even get tighter with minimal hand. I mean, with
I am,
marginal
what,
hands.
20?
Yeah.
Greg folds.
Now Chris should be raising this button. So he's going to.
All in.
Chris
That's-
announces all in.
It's a lot. But it's going to get the job done.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 62.
He didn't have a lot.
62 all day.
And the blinds are 24. So.
Shoot.
But that's not me, man. Paul has. Well, I guess the blinds are what?
24.
24.
Oh, yeah, I mean, shipping is not bad then.
3,600 each hand.
Yeah, I don't
Paul
mind.
folds.
Now seeing Paul stack, I don't mind his shoves. I mean,
What's his total?
it looks like he's around like 25k, maybe. I couldn't count. He has a lot of the 500 chips, so I don't know what he has them stacked in, and they just look like they're even stacked.
Yep.
So no particular number.
So I put him closer to 30.
But yeah, I mean that with the blinds being so high right now, I mean it's kind of getting down to that luck factor and just hoping you avoid
Oh, yeah.
big collisions. I mean,
The higher the blinds, the smaller the chip stacks, the more the luck factor just
yeah.
takes
Greg
over.
gets a walk.
So I mean, now is definitely the time when I would be just
Dance, Greg, dance.
you're four-handed. It's time to get really aggressive,
Get saucy.
especially on the button. I mean, if you run into it, you run into it. But I mean, you got to keep chipping up. I mean, blinds are so huge. You want to be the one that keeps putting the pressure and winning.
And this is where if you double it pre-flop, double it blinds that is, you're winning so often. If you ever get someone
Yeah, if
play
somebody
back at
raises you or calls, you lose
you're-
that, but then you win the next time.
you're winning so often that you're
Wow.
never losing.
Chris gets a watch.
If you look at the hands that were getting dealt, I mean, should be just almost an automatic raise if folded to on the button.
Exactly.
Min raise every time. Because there's no reason not to. You're going to win so much more than you lose.
Especially Greg, he just has to
Yeah.
unleash the beast.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing probably the tightest big stack I've seen in a while. I mean, he has so many chips that he should just be putting so much pressure on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the chips to do it. He can afford to lose them if people shove over him, which they're not going to do. I mean, nobody's going to shove over him unless they have the goods or a hand. I mean, any type of hand.
Raised to 7,500 by
There we
Greg.
go.
Plus the last hand he showed was the King 10 versus the Ace Queen, so we know he could possibly make a call
Right,
late.
right.
All players fold. Greg takes it down.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to be
Greg should literally raise until he loses.
until somebody. I mean, why not? Every hand you raise, you're just winning so much out of people's stacks, especially with having Chris to his left. I mean, Chris is so short; he can only shove with a hand, so you kind of negate his stack.
Greg danked first.
I mean, and Midge is going to slowly dwindle away too if she doesn't start making stuff happen either. And that's one of the downsides when you get short-handed and the stacks get shallow, of not.
Chris announces all in.
We got all in by the Queen 7.
What we got here?
Okay, this is might be all
How
she
much?
wrote
I need to
for
count.
Chris. I mean,
98 all day.
9,800
Paul,
all in
don't
by
do-
Chris.
Yeah, Paul asked for a count.
74 for each.
this right here is unnecessary. I mean, he's such a short stack. You have ace queen. I mean, there's
98.
no.
98 all day.
Chris is gonna be upset when he sees how strong his hand is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slow roll. And Paul, I mean, he doesn't understand it. I mean, it's not like he's doing it intentionally. It's not like a joke to him. He really is thinking about it. I mean, because he's scared to lose. But I mean, this is just he did this in the last season of Chase the Bracelet with Ace Jack one time, and he ended up going against Jack 6, I believe, and Jack 6 won, which is karma, man. I mean, this should not be. This is like the easiest snap call decision.
Is he in the blind, Tony?
Yes,
He's
he
in
is.
the big
Big blind.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
7,000.
7,000. And what did Paul raise?
No, he's in the big
No.
blind.
Paul's in the big blind. Yeah, there's.
Chris went
I
all
mean,
in
this
for
is absolutely
9,800.
ridiculous, to be honest. Snap call.
7,500. What it called?
It's 5,000 more. If he folds this, I would just lose my mind. I don't know how. Like, this is what I would love to know what his thought process is right now. Like, what is he thinking about? What Chris has
Survival.
or surviving? But yeah, I mean, with you thinking, there we go.
Paul does call.
98.
This is watch.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see an eruption. I would expect an eruption. I mean, if there isn't, I'm gonna be surprised. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Announced.
He flipped it over like, yeah, gotcha.
And there the Lord's at the table again, talking
Yeah.
holy manure.
I mean, that's a
7.
slow roll. I mean, it's
Wait for the 7.
2
oh,
hearts.
the 2 hearts.
Nice.
Oh, the 2 hearts.
There's the heart.
There's the heart.
Doesn't look like it because Paul's pretty normal. Oh, he got there.
Oh my gosh. Look at Paul.
Good hand.
That's just a little bit of get
That's
back
the,
on it.
Here's what's funny though. These are the reasons why he hesitates.
Yeah,
Now,
this is this exact scenario that just happened is the reason he thought so long with Ace Queen, which is not good. I mean, you have to let this stuff go. He got it in with the best. I mean, he has Ace Queen. The guy has Queen 7. I mean, you have him
I read you
totally
right.
crushed.
I knew you didn't have a hand.
And
I'm waiting for the unlucky comment.
Low stack. I get something even less close to somebody making
I
it.
read you right. Yeah, I mean, what are you? He's a short stack and he's shoving any 2 cards really. I mean,
Then why did you take 5 minutes to think about it?
yeah, it's let's be honest.
It's a long book. It took him a while to read it.
I mean, I would love to know what
It's a mystery.
the thoughts, the actual thoughts that are going in
Midge
his mind
announces all
when
in.
that's happening. I would like to hear it.
Bunch of little people.
Oh, I'm just wondering, is he thinking about stacks? Is he thinking about, Chris's play style? Is he thinking about survival? I don't.
The button, or not button, the bubble.
Yeah, I don't know.
3
I mean,
minutes
for me,
until
I'm
break.
Helmy style. I'm shipping it right in there.
Beat him into the pot.
Yeah, I mean, right when he says, "Oh," I'm like, "What?" In there. I mean, you just can't.
Chris just doubled up, so that puts him over 20,000 right now.
Yeah, I mean, he had 7 plus small blind was.
The 9,800
12.
would have cost the call.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was not, it was
Paul,
70. It
yeah.
was 7,000 more.
Mouse
Okay.
Witch ships it. Should get it through.
Yeah.
Unless Chris reads him right.
I mean, but the cool thing is, the stacks, or I'm sorry, the blinds are so big that, a couple pickups of the blinds each orbit, you're gonna really bubble back
Chris
up.
folds.
It might
This
be
is the
that.
time I love playing. Like, I love being in there. Just because it's so fun. I mean, chips are just going around.
So you're saying with big stack, down to 3 or 4 people, that's when you become extremely aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's almost apparent aggressive. It's almost like everybody knows, you get everybody at the table saying, "Oh, I know you don't have it, but I don't have anything to call you." And they keep folding, and it's just, I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to use those chips. They're your weapons.
And plus, when someone looks at a big stack, they look at that as ability.
Right.
So they think
Right.
they think you are literally better than the other opponents because you have all the chips. Maybe it's not necessarily true, but
It's just a winning image. It's
exactly.
the same thing like when I play at the shoe, cash games. People interpret a bigger chip stack as more skillful, even though that's not even true whatsoever. But it's not only that, it's just, I mean, you want to set yourself up to win the tournament. I mean, when you play a tournament, you want to get first. You don't want to just cash. So in order to do that, you have to collect as many chips as possible.
1 minute
And
left
the
in
way
the
to do
blind.
that is just pound everybody, raise the buttons all day.
Moskowitz all in.
Okay, well, Midge will call.
Oh man, Paul. See, this is what I don't understand.
Midge calls.
He folds all those hands that he should be shoving with, and then goes on tilt.
Jack
He went
10
on
of
tilt, and
diamonds.
he could have survived.
Really? Man.
Jack.
Oh my
and
god!
he gets there.
And now that was just.
No.
His hopes and dreams have not yet come to a close.
I mean, congratulations to him for hitting, but it's just.
I am not.
15.
I don't.
Midge might punch him in the mouth.
It's just one of those things, man. It's just you're folding all day, and then you shove
Yeah.
hands.
Looks like Paul
I
has
mean, I
Midge
guess
covered.
Jackson's not that bad with his stack. I mean, he was shorter now, but. Oh, he knocked her out.
Oh, I did not know.
Man, that's even.
You guys have time to post for one more.
I am.
Now, how did that hand go down? Did she raise?
No, he opened jam. She called in a big blind.
Yep.
I think it's clean.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, we're on break.
Face king.
Mitch, if it's any consolation whatsoever, I really just wanted them from him.
Did he say
Yeah.
anything?
Well, I
Ditto
was
back
like,
to you, Paul.
I wanted it from both.
And I know Bobby's in
Jackson
there rooting for you too. You got
Take
two
care of
cheerleaders.
myself.
Thank
You played well.
Have a
though.
happy Thanksgiving.
You did play well.
Happy Thanksgiving again, Paul.
There's nothing else you could do there.
Yeah, what are you gonna- I mean, there's nothing you do. I mean,
Yeah,
you hit it
yeah.
on the
I-
river,
I-
and that's the
I-
way it is. That's
yeah.
poker. Nothing you can do about it.
The river's been really nasty today.
Paul.
Goodbye, guys.
All right, see you later.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I don't want to hear you say shit about being unlucky.
Hey, don't go out there telling him how all this shit's going down.
No, we don't. No, we're not.